Recording is on.
All right. Let's get.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Kim, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. We're going to give folks a minute or two to file in here before we
Perfect.
get things off. Takeovers look good.
Yeah, they look awesome. Our community was so pumped to,
I saw
spot it in the wild.
Yeah, I saw lots of people tweeting about it. It was really awesome.
Yeah. I did a pre-launch tweet to Discord post letting people know it was coming. So they were on the lookout.
Awesome.
Yep. I did a bunch of internal posts too. People were very excited.
Awesome. That's great. All right. Let's give folks a minute here.
Yeah, it might take a minute to get us sorted on our end.
No problem.
We're going a bit slow today. I think the moon was doing something last night. I'm not sure.
Moon or general malaise from what's going on. Okay. All right. How are you doing, Guillermo?
Doing all right. How about yourself, Luke?
All right. Godson, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Let's see, too. I think we're live streaming on X too, right?
Yes, we are.
Great. All right. Let's give folks 2 more minutes and then we can jump on it. I think we're live streaming on X too, right? Oh, hi. I'm talking to myself.
Yes.
Best way to get a good conversation.
Always. All right.
I have to go look at the stream. I didn't think it'd pick it up. I don't know what's going on.
All right, here we go. Okie dokie.
I'll tell you, it's been really terrifying recently.
What's that?
It's been terrifying recently.
All right. I'll just get it started. Folks can trickle into, I think we're on X, which is good. Hey, everybody, welcome to Bat Community Call for Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. Hope you all are having a good one. Good to be on X. Everybody's out there. It's been a bit of a bumpy week. We have a special guest for this call, Kim from Decentralands here, which we can we'll intro Kim and have her tell us a little bit more about what we're doing after we do the run through of the team updates. And I think our Pal, are you driving on this week?
Yes, I am. So Jenny's out today, but yeah, I'm going to cover her slides.
Oh, cool. Great. Yeah, I think I talked to her. She was on her way to the airport in a snowstorm or something about an hour ago. So we hope she makes it safe. But thank you, Paolo, for covering. And I'll hand it on over to you to do the updates.
Thank you, Luke. And well, first of all, hi, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely day. And well, again, welcome back to another Bat Community Call. So here we go. Okay, so for our Bat X Twitter Spaces schedule, so on March 28th, we did what Web2 could learn from Web3 about product gamification, and we had Tricon, Sonar, and Chomp. Then last week, on April 4th, we did the new age of digital advertising with SpinTop, Gauge, and Q42. And for this week, it's Friday at 1 p.m. EST, we'll have the balance of fun, gamification, and addiction with Pipo, Lovecat, and RegTech. So please join us, or if you can make it, you can always listen to the recording on X. Then, well, this is a very exciting update from us. We're doing a very special giveaway where one lucky person from the community will get some exclusive Bad and Brave merch from our store. So if you want to participate, it's very, very simple. You just need to follow us if you're not following us already. Like this post from the Bad community on X, repost, and the most important thing, you need to comment your favorite thing about Bad. That's simple. And so yeah, you'll get a chance to win. So please join the contest. We'd love to see you in the comments. And we'll be announcing the winner in a week, probably during the next Bad community call. So good luck to everyone, and I hope you participate. And that's all from my side.
Hello, everyone. I enjoy how I'm recording. You can all see me fumble with my mute button. How you're doing? Okay, so this week in Bat Ambassadors, I was at the Apple store. I saw someone with a Bitcoin sticker on their laptop. I was like, hey, do you use Brave? And of course they did, but they were still using Uphold. I was like, no. And I got them to sign up for the on-chain rewards. So it was good. And then I got the person who was installing, like getting my laptop, like my phone repaired. I got them to install Brave as well on their iPhone, and they're going to install it on their mum's PC as well, which is always good. Like if you ever see someone using a browser that isn't Brave, it's your God-given duty to fix that situation. Last Friday, we did a space which Moonbeamer organized, which was fun, and intend to do more like it. It was with a bunch of H-bar people, the H-barbarians, and it was good fun. Speaking of Moonbeamer, she's the Bat Ambassador of the Month due to help with karate combat partnerships, creating the one form to rule them all, and being a sparkling, helpful pixie. I'll a bit of table smacking. Hey! Only one-handed today because I've injured my thumb with all the doom scrolling. And we're also helping organize more meetups across India, Austria, and Kenya. So thank you everyone for helping us yet again. Cheers.
Hey, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I feel like I should like smack the table, like it's okay. It's okay. He already did it.
It's necessary, yes.
You know, it's kind of Moonbeamer is awesome. She can get all the table smacks she wants. Yeah. So in the coming week, we are working on a couple of things on the continent. On the 12th, we are sending Alfred, who is our Bad Ambassador in Nigeria. We're sending him to the Abuja Bitcoin Meet Hangout. It's like according to him, it's like a smaller event. We're still trying to work on like a partnership to, get him like a booth and the whole thing. We need like a couple days to get that fixed. But hopefully, we should be able to get. Obviously he'll be there. He'll take some pictures. He'll do the usual like evangelism that he does. But we're still trying to get him like a much better setup than we currently have. We also spoke with Hackwest yesterday. Shout out to Battern for leading that meeting. Hackwest is like a global DAO, basically. They organize meetups and events at universities and get students to show off their coding capacities. We spoke with their head of community in Kenya yesterday. We're trying to make some sort of partnership happen, like a barter of some sort, to then assist Stan when he goes on with them on their next event. So it's kind of a tricky like situation, but we're trying to make something happen there as well. And then finally, I spoke to Katani Pay this morning. They are an on-ramp also in East Africa, and on-ramp. They're pretty much in most countries in the continent, and they kind of like help onboard people with like their local resources. So like, if it's like in South Africa, like, you can use cards, but then in Nigeria, you can, on-ramp yourself with like mobile data or, whatever like the case may be. So, Katani Pay is like an interesting reach, because I'm not entirely sure like what integration we could like possibly have, but they're just an exciting partner. So we'll do some more meetings and we see where it goes, and then I'll report back to you.
So are they like an on-ramp, Godson?
Yeah. So they one of the interesting cases with Africa is just like the lack of. So for example, like in Nigeria has its own like finance processing network, different from your Visas, your Mastercards, or something like that. It's called Verve, and it's so pretty much every Coinbase or whatever people use to onboard themselves, it's not going to accept this like local payment processing network, no matter how big it is, just because it takes a lot to actually like integrate it. So that's where like a Katani Pay would then come in and let you essentially onboard or on-ramp, I guess, yourself, through like whatever like local system you have. So in Kenya, for example, they have I believe it's called M-Pesa, and it's like a mobile phone like credit currency. It's like minutes on your phone, but because you can send them back and forth between people, it's become like a very fast currency, right? So you can then also onboard through Katani Pay with your mobile phone credit. So then in South Africa you can use like your regular like debit or credit card. So it's a very interesting, like they can onboard people who don't regularly have the ability to onboard themselves to crypto. So
yeah, no, the reason I'm asking, so there's some like there are definitely regional on ramps like this, and one thing the team built into Wallet was we're using like a aggregator called Meld, basically, that helps us to kind of like helps us to manage different on ramps. So like I think if they have API support with Meld, or that might be not that difficult for us to integrate them in. And so, yeah, we could do a discussion with them and see, what we need to hook up there. Because these regional on-ramps are like super important. We saw this like with Latin America too, where there's just some providers where success rates are like a lot higher because they're regionally plugged in, and there's certain conditions or whatever that are specific to that region that were important. So with this new system they built in the wallet, it actually makes it easier for us to add partners for on-ramps and stuff. So that's really cool. We should, because I don't think we have anybody hooked in that's like specific to Africa. So like it would be good to have that zone covered,
Okay. You said Meld API, so
Meld, they'll know who we're talking about. If you mention that we have Meld integrated to handle like on-ramp integrations, like they should know what we're talking about there. So I think that would be a good step, or we can also get somebody from the team to talk to them too.
Yeah, okay. I'll ask them, and then if they're integrated with Meld, then I'll just pass it along to I forget who the wallet guy is, but I'll find out.
Yeah, or even if they that's cool. It sounds awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, here to give the Echo Stats update. So as I've been mentioning priorly and giving it as an excuse, Drip has changed their policy regarding the way you collect the new drops, which is resulting in a lower collectibles and lower stats from our side and everyone's side, as a matter of fact. But this past issue has been collected by 357 unique wallets. It has received 36 likes and up to this point 10 comments. It's only been a week. It's going to be available for another whole week, and I'm very excited to see if we can see an increase on it. I'm going to send now on the chat our Echo channel and Drip. Other cool stuff that is upcoming. We are seeing what we can do with the different projects that are now featured on the offer wall. We're seeing what are some cool aspects that we can integrate BAT in a utility form for upcoming issues on Echo. So firstly, I'm starting with Karate Combat, and I'm trying to see if we can token gate some tickets, and they already set their game to distribute some live event tickets for their upcoming event in Dubai in the 2nd of May. So that's another cool thing to keep an eye out for. Thank you.
All right, my turn. So just a few updates on in the community and within the community as well. So the bats in the cave is kind of slowed off a little bit, but still continuing to grow. We're at over 205,000 Solana rat bat that are in the guano bat caves earning guano. The community meme coin, just having some fun there. And I mean, that's actually, I think, right under 15% of all the Solana wrapped bat that's locked up in the bat caves there. So, I'm here to tell people there's bats in their caves. And that's a good thing, not that they have boogers in their nose. So that's what like my 7-year-old daughter likes to say. You got bats in the cave, and I think it's funny. Um,
Really quick, Drew, like, does the Guano team, like, do they have any like sense of, because I know there's what, like 3 lockup options and they're like 30,
Mhm,
60 or 90 days or something like that. Like,
mhm.
are people like, do they know how long the average, like which option people are picking more? I'm just curious.
Ooh, that I have no clue. We'll have to check and
Oh, cool,
see,
no
but
problem. I
we'll
was just
try and see if we can get information on that. Sure.
cool.
That's a good question, though. That's a good question. Um, but yeah, beyond that, not that I am taking credit for this, but the Brendan tweeted out the numbers for March. Just under 85 million monthly active users, 37 million daily on the high water mark, and then search numbers were up as well. So moving in the right direction. Still looking to get to 100 million this year, right, Luke?
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, good. And then next to that little image there is the holder scan for BAT on Ethereum. Yeah, Godson did it himself. He pushed it up a few million this last month. Appreciate you, Godson. Yeah, it says BAT holders on Ethereum, which is around 441,000. That's been around there for a while. It actually looks like it's been up the last few days, which is good in this market. And then on the right is the BAT holders on Solana. And as you can see, the rewards went out again for the month recently. It's another, 4,000 or so, 4,100 looks like, roughly, give or take, additional self custody on chain rewards users have been added to the earning BAT on Solana. So that continues to grow because it's over 25,000, almost 26,000 as we roll out the self custody rewards. And then was running a little March Madness event for the NCAA tournament. I think we had, you know, 30 or 40 people that entered, and I was in the lead until last night when my University of Houston Cougars lost in the championship game. And so there you have the winners: Jim Brown, Cease Lane, and Ryan Guglielmo. And we have some prizes for them. So if you hear this or see this, then hit me up. It was an ending. Unfortunately, I'm a U of H guy and we came up short, but congrats to the Gators and the Gator fans. So thanks. That's all I got.
Thank you, Drew. And so, well, hi again. For additional updates, the Back Community Call Summary number 46 has been published on our Notion. It's the same link for the entire page with all the summaries, and you can also see translations in Spanish, Japanese, and Hindi. And speaking of which, we have a new translator for the summaries in Japanese. She's been a member. She's a recent member of the Brave community in Japan, and she will be assisting Natch with those. So we're very excited to start working with her. And lastly, we have been doing some Spanish localization on the BAT LATAM account for some recent posts, and I'm going to share them in the next slide. Okay, so these are some examples, and we've been getting great interaction and engagement with those. I did the first two, and Wilfredo, our ambassador from Colombia, did the last one. So shout out to Wilfredo for that. And now for highlights of the week, we got these awesome posts from our ambassador, Moonbeamer. She's been doing a lot in the community. She's ambassador of the month for a reason. She's been, just like Battern said, she's been setting up spaces. She's been getting connections for partnerships, and she's doing a lot of content creation too, and a lot more. So we love her. And also a special shout out to K19 Unknown, and also Revive 10 for spreading the word about Brave. We love to see this, and yeah, this is awesome, and thank you so much for that. And that's all from our side. And for today, we have a very special guest, and I don't know if Battern wants to give like a small introduction.
Yeah, I'll introduce it. It's got Decentraland Fashion Week going on at my MFW. I've got Kim Courier, the head of partnerships and marketing, here with us today. And I threw in a couple of that makes MVFW. Yeah, that sounds better than My Face When. I did a couple of mock-ups for what we could have potentially as the wearable we're going to be getting. So yeah, I'll pass it over to Kim.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here today. So as the team said, I'm Kim, head of partnerships and marketing at Decentraland. If you're not familiar, we are the social virtual world. We do happen to be built on the blockchain, but you don't have to use crypto or a crypto wallet to participate. We recently relaunched. So if you're familiar with the Decentraland of the past, we recently relaunched an entire new desktop client in October. So faster performance, better avatar enhancements, better graphics, so you can actually see the whole world while you're in it. I know it's a UGC world, so creators build side by side with one another. And what's really exciting is it's kind of becoming what everyone had envisioned it could be. So we're really, really excited to see that. I know the team here, yeah, you guys were logging in with your ex. You've been in there, and it's been a ton of fun. And we have Metaverse Fashion Week coming up starting tomorrow. So it is a 4-day event where there will be a ton to do. So there are going to be 6 designer runway shows, 16 different designer showrooms that you can walk through, learn about these designers, and collect some free wearables. There are going to be 8 industry panels. So experts from the fashion industry will be talking about, the role of AI, XR, VR, and future of immersive worlds. There is going to be talk on sustainability. So there's just so much to try to think about what's happening. across the space. And yes, I love this comment. Yes, we did just do an ad campaign takeover through rewards. So you may have seen some glimpses of what it looks like inside of Decentraland. I am actually in world right now with the community. So if anyone wants to jump in, you just go to decentraland.org and download. You can sign in again with a wallet, with anything that comes in, and then you will be dropped through a tutorial platform. But tomorrow we're going to turn that off and just drop you straight into Metaverse Fashion Week Plaza so that you could just start having fun. The biggest thing to know is starting tomorrow, there will be 22 and maybe a few Easter egg free wearables that you can collect to really customize your avatar. So one of the biggest things in Decentraland is being able to come in, party, have a good time. There's a variety of things to do. You can look at art. There's amazing art galleries in there. There's parkour. I had a ton of fun with a few brave folks doing parkour one night, and some of them are really challenging. Some of them are a little easier. I'm personally horrible at the parkour, but people have made really awesome scenes there. There are games, so a lot of mini games going on. And just generally the biggest thing, like I said, is like live DJ parties, which we have a ton of fun. So there will be an opening party tomorrow for the event and then a closing party. And I know I saw you guys talking about languages and everything. I believe our closing party artist will be in Spanish, which will be a ton of fun. So just check that out. mvfw.org has like the full schedule. Jump in. And all of us are in world today, welcoming new people. As the team can attest, I know they went in stealth into Decentraland without telling people they were from Brave and got to meet our community. And I know for sure they were getting some free wearables thrown at them and just having a good time.
That's awesome. Kim, I'm just kind of super curious too, because, you know, Decentraland, like BAT too, been around for several cycles now. Like, you know, like, and how has it been? Like, it's super cool to see that like you all are kind of going through and like revamping the platform and stuff. But like, how is the vision for kind of what the metaverse is, or how people operate in it changed in your time there, just like from previous versions to this one? And like, what are you guys looking at as kind of like for projects and teams? Like, what is this a place for them to go and like, you know, bring the community in to do things? Like, what's your guys' take on that? I'm just super curious.
Yeah, totally. So back in the day, I want to say, you know, when we first started Decentraland's OG, you know, 2017 is when it kind of came to be. We opened up the world in 2020. And we really were doing, you know, the whole full Web3, full decentralized, all Web3 language. And everyone in here was like deep into crypto. And recently we've just done a lot to make it even more welcoming and friendly to kind of everyone in this space. So you can, like I said, you can log in with anything now, your Google, your Discord, whatever you want to use. Wallets are created for everyone on the back end. So we did partner with Magic to make that happen. So you can collect everything. All wearables and emotes are NFTs. But again, it's happening on the back end. What we really wanted and what we learned is, although we thought people really cared about, like, we want a decentralized place, we want full blockchain, we want all of these, we want to build side by side, like all of these things we thought were super important to our community, and they totally are. But when we dug really deep into like what makes people stay, what makes people come back, what does Decentraland do best, it really ended up being that social opportunity to connect with people from around the world. Some people know we're decentralized and blockchain, some don't, and like it's totally fine. They learn over time, but really making sure that we positioned ourselves to be like the place to come in and like have fun in a 3D environment, really be that third space for you. We know loneliness is at an all-time high. We know people are moving all across the globe away from friends. So how can you have a really fun experience together? So that could be coming in for a live DJ party. It could be doing parkour together. It could be some team bonding stuff. We're building all of that up. When you were asking about like, what do people come in and do? There's some beautiful recreations of in real life scenes that people have been building from like historical societies and tourism boards. So with it being a fully UGC world, like come in and build whatever you want to see out there. And originally it was kind of hard to build into Decentraland back in the day. You had to buy land and then you had to know how to code, all of that. And now you could buy land, still possible, and that is an NFT, but you also could, if you have an ENS name, which I'm going to assume a lot of people in this space kind of do, if you have an ENS name, you actually are also eligible for a Decentraland World, which is kind of like your own island outside of the main Genesis Plaza. And you could build there for free. And you just deploy there. We have a new creator hub where there are templates. So you could do no code, drag and drop, simple changes. So now people like me who are not developers can really come in and make a space that they're excited about. And more templates are being added by our community and by our team kind of as we speak.
That's awesome. Yeah. Cause I think like this has been tough for like a lot of projects. I mean, first off, I probably count on one hand how many from 2017 are still around. And I think
Totally.
two of those fingers are in this conversation right now on that one hand. But which I think is awesome too. I mean, and also like, I think, Grayscale is also one of the few to pick up on both of our projects too, as like an early consumer facing, crypto communities, right? And tokens. And I think that, it's really cool to hear the story like that you all are, we thought it was going to be this, it actually ended up being like that. It's all finding market fit, right? Like in trying to do one of the reasons why we're also super excited that you all were in that first group of partners that we launched with the reward partner program too, because I mean, like we're, that's kind of what the program's about too. And I think that, what we can do more together, and we should do some more on Decentraland too, I think it'd be super cool. But like, we're really stoked to have you all as part of that. And it's cool to see, that you all are building product and kind of like taking that feedback back. And especially now, like, how has that been? I mean, the obviously like, we know how difficult it's been, trying to find market fit when you're also kind of worried about regulatory environment and stuff like that. Like with all these changes, are you all getting more experimental with what you're doing in this space? I mean, it sounds kind of like it, but just kind of curious for your take on it.
Yeah, totally. So one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people don't realize is that Decentraland is split into two. So we're a DAO and we're a foundation, which is the part I work for. And we're a nonprofit. So while all these other projects are like, how do I get revenue? How do I extract as much from our community as possible? That is never our goal. We have no revenue model on the foundation side. We are really building this world for creators to thrive, not for like our pockets to thrive. And so on the marketplace, everything 97.5% goes to the creators that created the item, and 2.5% goes to the DAO, which is the community run organization that really owns the platform. So they decide what our future kind of looks like, from a like, how big should our fees be? Where do we want to spend the DAO treasury? How should we allow vehicles into Decentraland? Like all these types of bigger picture things is kind of what is conversations happening in the DAO side as well. And then on the foundation side, we're responsible for the platform itself. So the tech, the infrastructure, and then the IP. So the marketing, making sure people know about it, getting people in the world.
Oh, it's super cool. And if people want to be like active in the DAOs, I'm assuming it's just like kind of an open public DAO.
Totally. Yeah, it's totally public, and you get voting power in a few ways. One is holding Mana, which is our utility token. The other is owning land. So those are kind of like the biggest ways to get involved. But we have Discord groups both for like the foundation side, so we can help with any issues that come up or talk about like the marketing initiatives we're doing. And then the DAO side, where they have like really collaborative conversations of like, what does the future look like? What do we want to build as a community? Our grants, they used to have a really big grant program that's currently being revamped. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening on that end. And then in regards to what we could do at Brave, yeah, we're going to do more. I know the team is these mock-ups that I love. I was like, make me some mock-ups with AI, and these are but we're going to create some BAT and Brave wearables that we can give away to this community, just because they're fun. Honestly, no real reason other than that. They're just a good time. And so that you can identify each other in world. Our community loves to style their outfits. You'll see the next 4 days, the amount of outfits they are going to roll up in the best fits you've ever seen in the digital world. And that is one of our product market fits, is we know people really want to own that digital identity. And all of our avatars are VRM compatible, so you can download them and bring them to other worlds. We have people that stream with them. We have people that bring them into Hyperfy or on Cyber, etc. So really want people to feel like this is who they are when they show up in a digital space.
That's cool. And then I know Fashion Week's obviously top of mind. Are there other like events that you all are planning, or is that something that kind of the DAO comes up with, or how does that work?
Oh, great question. So yes, there are a lot of events we are planning. We do that on the foundation side. We announced it in our manifesto that went out this year. So the next one, this is 4 days. Then we are going to do a super fun trial event that we've never done before, but I'm really excited about it personally. It's going to be prom, and that is in May. So we'll reuse this Fashion Week scene, but have a big, US style prom, which we know many people in our community didn't have a prom, and I'm pumped about it. We'll get people to make prom dresses and tuxes and all the things. And then we're going to hang out. And then we have a LAN party, so like a game style type of event in June. Career Quest in July. So these are all new events we're testing out. And then Art Week is a staple for us. We're doing that in September. Halloween is always a ton of fun in Decentraland. So we will have a Fright Night. And then Music Fest is our second biggest event in the year. Fashion Week is number 1. Music is number 2. And that is a 4-day music festival in November. Wow. And then obviously the holidays. We always do good, fun surprise goodies for the holidays.
That's cool. Like, and there's to be a whole bunch of interesting tie-ins. Like you could think of. I'll stop monopolizing the time. I'll open up for questions if folks have any. I see. I'm just kind of scanning the chat. Battern asked if you can put them into VTuber Studios. I'm assuming the variables. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool. You totally can. Some need a little bit of rigging to make like the jaw move exactly, but our community has figured it out. So I could totally hook you guys up with community members that have a system for it.
Nice. And Sierra was asking, is it available on Linux too, or is it just Windows or in Mac OS?
So a previous version of the client isn't. This one isn't yet. We did some data research on just how many people in our community were using Linux, and it wasn't that big. So we did prioritize Microsoft first, and then Mac has now rolled out, and we're looking to see what we do next in the future. Obviously, we'd love to get mobile going, but with a UGC world, the sizing is really tough of how much memory and GPU is needed to run it.
I see. That's cool. Yeah. You see like a karate combat, like fighting your friends stuff would be cool. But who knows? I'll open it up to anybody. You all have questions. Yeah. C-Ray, you got a hand up.
Yeah, I just was trying to poke around on the website, and I have to ask, do you guys not really have any videos?
Do we not have any videos of what's in world? Oh, we have a whole YouTube of videos if you want.
Okay, which I'll have to go. Yeah, I guess I was like, what does it look like? So I see it said Golf Craft Mini Golf, and I said, okay, can you actually play mini golf? And I was clicking and hoping to see what it was, and I'm like, it's not there.
Where are you? I'm curious. Where are you seeing the Golf Craft stuff? I'm like, where is that on our site?
So I just gave that specific link, but where I did is
you're in Places. I got you.
Yeah, okay. Places, Decentraland. I mean, I was clicking all over the place because I figured for sure on your website that I would be seeing something of, hey, here's a video, here's pictures, here's how our land, and I just wasn't finding it. So I didn't know if I was poking in the wrong places or where that would have been at.
No, you're in the right place. We this new site is new, but we are integrating a lot more video and picture. That's why I was like, where specifically are you? But the places, it's all content managed by the creator of that scene. So that's a good point, though. I would love for them to upload video. I just have to give them the criteria for it. But with that, we need to make sure each creator has the place to market their own work, but on our YouTube, you can definitely see a lot more. But that's great feedback. So I appreciate that.
Cool. All right. Let's see here. Cripple Resistant asks, why not make it like Skyrim? I feel old. I don't know what
I don't know
it
what that is. I'm not cool enough.
is.
What is Skyrim? I would love to know though.
Is that let's see here.
I'm like Googling over here.
I am too. Cool.
The fact is that even at this point, Skyrim is old.
I mean, it sounds familiar, but then I feel like if I say the wrong thing, I'm gonna get butchered for
An
like
action role-playing game.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, it's Elder Scrolls.
Elder
If you're familiar with all the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim was just one of the most well-known of them.
So people can totally build role-playing games in Decentraland. So like I said, all UGC. So whatever people want to build. Some people are building a few different ones. We have Knights of Antrim is a community that has built a like role-playing style game. So each creator can build kind of what it is they want to see in the world. But we think of Decentraland kind of as like an open sandbox or playground, as you will, of like, these are all the tools. What would you want to build here? So some people are building role-playing games. Some people are building, parkour courses. It totally depends. But the idea of Decentraland as in and of itself is not a game you win or lose. It's a game you come to for like social experiences.
That's cool. Like, I love that. It's kind of like you guys give the like the sandbox, or just kind of letting people build their own adventure. It gets interesting too, because we're thinking of different ways that, like, as we add more partners to the program too, like we could get them building some stuff in Decentraland. It might be kind of fun. If it's you're saying there's like no code stuff too. I got to poke around a little more in there, because if it's super easy, like it'd be fun to have some of the partners play around in there too.
Yeah, totally. I'll drop the creator page here where you can download the creator hub, which is like the tool to start building.
Very cool.
And we do have a Discord where community members are all helping. They're building together. That's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen since working here, is just I've never seen people more generous and helpful with both their time and like gifting people wearables or helping them DJ or whatever it may be. So if you have questions or you're interested, definitely jump in, say hi, say what you're looking to do. Someone will be able to help you out.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I think, or you see, Ray, did you have a question too? I saw your hand was up, but I'm looking.
Well, you actually had started bringing it up. I was going to say, for people to create, is it going to be? So as I was poking around the website, I did see just the one area I did where it was said that you're going to have VS Studio Code installed or whatever, but it looks like that was just saying if you want to do your own logic or something. So I guess you are saying there's a combination.
You shouldn't need VS extension anymore. You used to, and the Creator Hub is new as of a few months ago. So now you could do a lot more all within the hub directly.
Okay, awesome. So like I said, that page that I linked to, it did still show that in the notes.
That's I'm looking.
So.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is what happens when your team's moving fast.
I know. No, we deal with it all the time. Like, it's like,
where did you see that?
Well, and it's like, especially when you're doing stuff like iteratively, where we'll have stuff that's like a certain way, like Brave News is like that too, where you've got like a very different version on desktop than mobile. And so like, it's always like having to kind of walk back from the question and say, okay, wait, let me get in your world and where are you calling from, kind of thing, like just to make sure you're on the same page. It's awesome. It's super cool. Like, I think this is, it's neat to see that you all are kind of building this space for people to kind of, meet together. And especially nowadays, like, these social platforms are just getting more and more kind of weird, and having a place that's kind of more neutral to start is pretty cool.
Yeah. And Decentraland is obviously, as the name suggests, like completely decentralized. So if you're building something here, even if the foundation goes away tomorrow, it's all open source coding. The DAO actually has made alternative clients. So we build on Unity, but they've made ones for Bevy, Godot, like just to really make sure that it can always exist however people want to use it.
And is it on, like, I know when Mana launched, that was on mainnet Ethereum. Like, are there any other blockchains that are
Polygon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Polygon too. Okay, cool.
Yeah. The whole marketplace is Polygon, just for gas purposes, obviously, versus Ethereum mainnet. There are a few wearables that are like OG ones that we call the L1 wearables that are really sought after, and I'm expecting people to wear them this week at Fashion Week. I'm like, I saw people moving them on the marketplace. So
That's awesome.
yeah, but primarily pretty much everything is done now on Polygon Mana.
And how long have you been at Decentraland for?
Since September 2022. So I've seen
wow.
a lot of change here. I started out just running the socials for some time. It was like my first big job in Web3. I was running an NFT project for about a year beforehand. And just kind of kept taking on more hats, as you do. Although we're a big name, we're actually a pretty small team. Our marketing team's only 3 people. And so we get a lot done with a mighty team and a good community that helps us out.
That's awesome. Yeah, like what kind of drew you into like Decentraland, like versus everything else out there? I'm just kind of curious too, because especially if you've been here from 2022, like that's like ages in this space.
I know, it's forever, right?
Exactly. And so just kind of curious, like what was it about Decentraland that kind of pulled you in and is keeping you there?
I think number one was the idea that I wasn't helping I came into Web3 because I saw problems with like Web2, big corporations, how this was all coming to be. And just that idea of helping creators build something, helping creators monetize. And I'm not just, creating another Mark Zuckerberg somewhere was something that interested me. So I think my favorite part of my job is like telling our community stories. Most of them are all self-taught. They've all learned how to create wearables, how to build their scenes. Like there are very few people in this community that had that type of background. They all just like hustled, worked hard, learned how to do it, and had a passion for this space. And building community around people like that is something I love to do.
That's awesome.
That was kind of what drew me in initially. And then I just stayed because I kept seeing the progress and how much work the team was putting into it. And I'm just like, I see the potential so much of what's possible. Prior to November, Decentraland had never done any paid marketing. It had just been like straight up organic growth in the Web3 space. So yeah, this is kind of a whole new phase for us where we're like, okay, if we intentionally go out and tell people who we are and what we do and what you could do here, like what could happen?
I think it's super interesting too, because like a lot of what people, I mean, myself included, and a lot of people here got excited about was just like, the ability to kind of right the ship as far as like, Web 2 to Web 3 goes. And I think like it's even a different kind of mindset too, where what is a creator, right? Like a creator can be making these spaces in Decentraland. It's kind of this new turf where you can be creative and get, some financial, benefit out of it too. And a lot of that I think is like, I just know from when we started at Brave, like when we were first supporting creators, we weren't even calling them creator. It was more of like publishers. And it was just like, you had a website. And then in the time between then and now, like we've gone to like basically anything with an OAuth handle can turn into a creator. And so it's really cool to have you all in this space where it's another, kind of, a surface area to like create on and another like a thing for creators to do, because that's one of the things we're trying to do. And I think with this next tranche of partners in the program, we're going to have a bunch of different creator types on there that are doing things, but like having these areas where people can go bring their community and their fans even like to do new and interesting things is like super cool. And I think creators are always looking for like what is another way I can connect with my fan base or audience or whatever. So I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally. And I think one of the things I say is like when we talk about creators, so many people are like, oh, an influencer or a world builder, like probably. But for us, it can mean so many things. Like we have virtual DJs who are like have full careers being like a DJ in virtual worlds. We have
virtual event producers. Bay's our event producer, and she's amazing, and she produced Metaverse Fashion Week. But like, there are so many careers as like quote unquote creators in this space that it just opens up the door for so many people that can bring their Web2 skill set into this opportunity.
It's awesome. And I know Cribble Resistance was asking, what's the end goal for graphics? Like, or is that part of the update process, right? Like, where like, is there like kind of refinement on that side, or is it just going to get like more iteratively improved over time, or how does that work?
So the graphics have been drastically updated. So if you're on our website, there's like the top video up there. This is the new world. Like, the trees blow in the wind, your feet are actually in the grass, like all of those types of things. But it isn't meant to be a AAA game. Like, it's not supposed to look real world. We kind of like that lo-fi-ish, immersive character type of experience that you're having there. So it definitely has been updated a ton, but the intent is not to be photorealistic.
That's cool. Is a lot of that too, so that folks aren't like left out if it's too intense or resource demanding or whatever, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think we really wanted a lot of creators to be able to build here, and the more photorealistic you get, the harder and harder that is to do. But also, there's a lot of photorealistic stuff out there. Like, I think it's kind of like an homage to old gaming. It's nostalgic in a way.
I love it. Yeah, and there's a question too from Drew about like about bat tipping and for creators. Are there ways to kind of reward creators within Decentraland, or how does that work?
So we're still working through all of this. For creators, you could totally buy their wearables and emotes on the marketplace. That's like the one built-in source of revenue right now. But we are looking into alternatives, like, could you tip a scene owner because you had a great time in that scene? Or we're looking into programs that'll reward people for having, events with over X number of people. That type of stuff is all on the roadmap this year. Previously, it was let's get up to feature parity, let's get the graphics updated, and now it's how do we enhance the world for both the users and the creators.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's super cool. I think, yeah, there's a lot. I'd imagine there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of like dimensions to all this stuff. Yeah. But when you look at kind of, or I'm not sure if you even have visibility into this, but like, are a lot of the people that come to Decentraland, like how is it geographically distributed? Is it people from all over the world, or is it kind of more localized to certain countries, or how does that look?
Very, very global. Great question. We see people from like many countries. I'm like, I've never even heard of that country. So really cool in that it is super global. I would say our biggest like singular country is the United States, but Europe as a continent is bigger, like our European footprint. We have a good amount of people from Asia as well. We have a Japanese ambassador. They have a really cool crew. Our DCL Japan crew is actually doing a full runway at Metaverse Fashion Week. We have designers coming from Ghana for this fashion week. So it really is like full across the board global. We don't ask any user data. We kind of, like you guys, really put that importance on privacy, but self-reported, it tends to be people, like 20 to 35-ish is like the majority, but it's a huge range. We are an adults platform. So like, we are not the Roblox of the world. We're not going after kids. This is for like adults and grownups to connect with one another. You hear me saying grown-ups because I have little kids and that's how we talk about them.
I have little kids too.
At school. You have to say you're grown up. Exactly. More inclusive than parent.
Yeah. That is a funny use case though, right? Like just to kind of get away for 20 minutes or something, where you can't necessarily leave the house, but you can go somewhere, right? Like I thought of that.
I say that all the time, Luke. So I'm a mom of 2 toddlers and I grew up in New York City. Like I love going to a club and seeing live music and like dancing. It's so much fun. But like I have 2 toddlers. I'm not doing that all the time. I'm exhausted. But it's really, really fun in Decentraland. I can log in and be like, oh, there's this live DJ streaming. San Holo performed. I don't know if you guys know San Holo, but EDM artist performed at Metaverse Fashion Week. And like, there's no chance I was going to a Sonolo performance in real life. But it was so awesome to go in and like, I got, my rave outfit on in World and just had a really good time with my friends. Did it rain? That's amazing. So we absolutely had a rain performance at last year's Fashion Week. Music Fest. And we had the skies open up. It rained in the middle of oh my gosh, I'm going to totally blank on his name, but he's a famous DJ. And it was so fun. So yes, we had it rain. It was amazing. But yeah, just that idea that like, again, the world is feeling isolated. You need a space to hang out as adults and like chat at the end of your day. This is a really immersive way to do that versus I think about traditional social media, right? 2D. So Instagram, Twitter, you're just trying to get that 2-second thumb stop from someone. And it doesn't feel like you're really connecting. You're just consuming. And I think that's the difference. In Decentraland, you're not consuming, you're co-creating that experience.
Yeah, it's kind of like longer form too. Like, and I
Totally.
think like appetite for that. People are kind of fried on everything's such a dopamine hit, right? Like, whereas like you can actually like hang out with people and have a more kind of real world like experience than you just kind of playing tag on socials or whatever, mudslinging or whatever however you want to frame it. But that's super cool. No, Kim, I really appreciate both. Like, one, you've all been awesome to work with in getting into that first partner launch cohort that we're doing, and I'm super excited to like continue working with you all through the program and through Brave and with the rewards community and our BAT community, everybody, lots of folks here too. I hope people are kind of tuning in and also, Battern's got a hand up too, and but really appreciate you making the time. Battern, you want to close us out on it?
Yeah, I've got to say, like, I think the most important thing about Decentraland versus, like, say, Discord or a Twitter chat or whatever is the fact that you have a position in a 3D reality. Like, I know it's not the real world, but the fact that you're in a room and you're not all just text, you are positioned somewhere. Like, like I was like when Dragon Dave turned up to the rain, I was like, yeah, and they were just like dancing together. That's not the same as someone just coming into a chat and saying GM. It's like it's actually a bit more energy to it, like because having a position in a 3D reality makes all the difference.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a little Brave Island set up for everyone so you guys can have community raves. Because I agree, like you're sitting here and then someone shows up and then you're like, oh my god, where did you get that wearable? How did you get that emote? What is going on? And it's just so much more fun.
To future community calls in Decentraland.
Done. Make that happen.
To be fair, we could actually do that because you could have you could have us all in Decentraland, and then you could have the community call up on a screen in Decentraland.
Are you kidding? That would be awesome.
Yeah. We could do it next time if you want. We
should
just didn't have enough
like,
time to plan ahead.
We could do like karate combat launch view parties too in there.
Totally.
We used to do them in Brave Talk. It'd be cool to do them in Decentraland if we can plug it in.
Yeah, we had we partnered with Mountain Dew and an esports team 2 years ago and did like a huge watch party of a huge like esports tournament that was happening in New York. So watch parties and stuff do really, really well there too.
That's awesome. That's so cool. No, this is great. Yeah, and Kim, thanks again for making the time today.
Of course.
We're at the top of the hour, so I'm going to close this out. We'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you all for making it out today. Go check out Decentraland, especially Fashion Week stuff going on right now. We'll see you 1 week from today. Have a good one, everybody.
See you guys.
Cheers,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
See everyone.
Thank you, Kim.